They're right here. Angel, ow! Oh, sorry.
Not in the way.
No, you're good.
But you're filming nobody.
I thought I was filming myself. Yeah.
You're filming me. How about this?
Hee.
How do I look?
Look like I'm a. Alright. So.
Oh, nice. My first blue screen.
Oh, look at that.
The other day, Friday working from home.
So here we are. We're going to talk about the benefits of moving over to Azure cloud services. So your responsibility, if you are a traditional SQL server, you're going to maintain operating systems, SQL Server, the backups, the high availabilities, disaster recovery, performance. That is all you. You don't have to do that with Azure. Azure takes care of all of that. Your job is really setting up their version of high availability, performance, change control, and security.
Okay, quick question. SQL Server in VM, we install SQL Server, we do backup restore, we maintain patching, all that. But in Azure, when we order a SQL database, does it mean that we order a SQL Server first and then they'll give us a database? Or just a SQL database somewhere in the cloud?
Well, you create the database in the cloud, or you export your database from your SQL Server into the cloud.
Right, but is that SQL database residing in our own SQL Server?
Oh, no, it resides in their...
In some other...
Yeah, in their cloud.
Well,
Okay.
you can pick you can create a logical server and then put on your server name
Right.
over there.
Right, but the database we created exists in Azure cloud. It doesn't exist on us. But we do use management log to it. Right. So, you pay by the hour, you know, need to maintain hardware, server, and then you create the database.
So that's what I'm saying. You can't create a database directly. I just want to order a database.
No. You have to
You
create
a SQL Server database.
Right, and then you have to remember, it's not really a server. How we think about it is really just a box, empty box, and we title it a server, and then we either import or replicate our SQL Server database.
Import meaning backup restore.
No, Azure does not do any backup restore. The only way to get a database inside of Azure is to do a backpack export utility.
Which means just the data. What about the table structures and all that? They're all is like
Right. So what happens is you use the backpack utility. So what happens is you go to, and that's coming up in the presentation.
Okay, all right.
So we create the server, we create the location, and then we create the database. So we're going to do that right now. Do I have a connection? Let's try. All right, so here on the left-hand side, we have our dashboards. When you create your first Azure account, you will not have these tabs on the left. You go to All Services.
And then you say we will not have the SQL Server tab on there, and then why
Yes.
will come out?
These tabs on the left, you will not have them. So you have to put them there.
After you order one, then it'll come.
Right. So when you initially sign up for Azure, it's really going to be empty. There's really not going to be anything there except for just blue space. So to get these nodes on the left-hand side, you go to All Services, type in SQL Server, and here I have servers. You hit the star, and then it'll populate on the left. Same thing if you want to do databases or whatever you want to your task to be. You have to search it and then populate over to the left. So
And
now
you click the star and then it populates.
right, you click the
Okay.
star and it populates.
It's like bookmark basically.
Right.
Okay.
So now we're going to create a new server. You cannot capitalize downtime. It's to actually do a replication. So it's a push replication. So you push the database from your local into the cloud. Azure only accepts a push replication. Then once you get everything synced, you can change your connection string to the cloud. There is no direct.
Shut off the one at local.
Yeah, off the local into the cloud. There is no direct backup restore into Azure. There's no log shipping, mirroring, failover, clustering. There's no availability group as we commonly know it. There is a failover group, and I'll talk about that in a second. If you want to see what's going on your system, you actually have to use DMVs. It's all the common ones, you know, exact DMV resource.
So you can run that
From the management studio, from the SSMS.
Can you try to run that? I'd like to see that.
Yeah, let's get some data and stuff in there. There is no link server, but what you can do, you can create a elastic pool. You can put as many databases as you want in that pool. You can run one query and it hits all the databases that are inside that elastic pool. So it's kind of like a link server, or it's kind of like running your queries across. Your application also can hit multiple databases that live inside the elastic pool. And I'll talk more about what is an elastic pool in just a second. Like I said, there is no SQL agent job. The alerts are handled by the Azure Matrix alerts. And,
The jobs. Yeah. Handled by Elastic Database jobs.
Elastic database jobs, yes. So let's log
So
into
if
it.
you are not in the Elastic database, you cannot do that.
Right. You need to set that up. So let's go inside of SQL Server. So we are now, first let's do the deployment of a database.
Like exporting and importing.
Export importing. So let me pick a smaller database. And remember, this is a live Azure account connected to my credit card. So
All right.
yeah, let's charge it up.
Do it.
So we go to Azure, we're going to do AdventureWorks, right click task, go down to deploy database to Azure. I'm going to go next, server connection. Up here is my SQL Server 2017.
In the cloud.
No, this is my local computer, local.
Oh, okay. I got
Yeah,
it.
and
Oh,
then
I got
down here is the cloud.
you. Okay.
So now, the first time, this is set to replication, so it wouldn't allow me to do the whole thing.
I see.
The second caveat is actually creating a backpack file on your local machine. I didn't have enough space, so then that failed.
On your local machine.
On my local machine. I mean, you guys will be using like a network path or something, so that you won't have that issue. So for demonstration purposes, I created an empty Rollins test, nothing in there. Sent it to my local, sent it to the cloud. So now if I refresh the cloud, now I have the Rollins test.
Okay, I see what you. I thought you were up in the cloud on that one.
Oh, I was up in the
Probably
cloud on
bring it
that
down
one.
from the
I got
cloud
you.
and
I
go
got you.
back.
All right, so there's three ways to do the take your database into the cloud. The first one is a manual export of the backpack file.
And that's what you did there.
No, that was automated. Manual, you don't even want to fool with that. It takes too long. I mean, why? They give you automated option. Automated option is what we did. The third way is replication. You can only do a push subscription. Azure only supports a push subscription. I'm going to go through most of that.
I see when you pass all those tests. You remember the lines specifically. You take up to the TV reading, but I don't see anything from the reading.
All right, so here is a publication that I made last night. It's the same way you do any kind of replication. Then you go down to subscriptions, new subscription. You go through it. Same thing as you do. This is going to be a push subscription. So right here, we're going to add subscriber. Go to add SQL Server. We're here.
When you click Azure, didn't it give you an Azure option?
No.
Oh,
Oh, add non. Okay.
Yeah.
It said Azure.
Okay. So here's another caveat. You have to create the empty database first in order to see it on here. So what I'm trying to do, this is AdventureWorks 2017, and I'm trying to move it into the cloud through replication.
Okay.
As you see, in the cloud, there is no AdventureWorks 2017. So you have to go to your cloud.
Can you just push it to Rollins test?
Oh, you can do that too. You can do that too.
So you see in the cloud, you have to create the database first, even though you're gonna do import.
Export.
I mean, import into it. And then,
Technically export. So I'm going from AdventureWorks 2017, and then it's going to push it or export it.
Now you want brothers. They have to servers. I'll fill it up to where they can't even take it out. It bubbles up. They're like, stop. They can't pick it up without spilling it.
Oh, in my face.
I'm 41 and I still do that kind of stuff.
All right, so just give you a quick show what it is. This is us in East. It's replicating over to Central United States. This has one name, R2. This has another name, R3. If they fell over, if everybody is pointing to this guy, then that's our connection string. If this fails, we have to manually type in the new connection string. So what Azure did, they created a failover group, which is kind of like the listener, where now the user connects straight to the availability group, and then this group manages all of the replicas inside. And so if there's a failover, the user never knows. So that's basically what this failover group is. Okay. And it works.